Hello, everybody. My name is Kayla. I am the social media manager here at Nitrado, and I am here with FirePumpkin from the ARKitects. Hello, FirePumpkin.
Hey, everyone. Hi. Hello, Kayla. I'm so excited to be here and to be an absolute beach bob with you.
Absolutely. So, today I'm going to be asking FirePumpkin some questions. We're going to be playing Ark. I have never played Ark before, so this is going to be an adventure of her babysitting me and me trying not to die to dinosaurs.
Well, I'm going to amend that. Being a content creator, I have been in creative for, let's say, almost 2 years now. So this is really going to be fun. There's going to be lots of dino death. I mean, us dying by dinos. That's what.
Yes, very little dino death, I imagine.
I've gotten a little bit braver from the first time I played this game. There are delos on the beach, and they are terrifying when you first start. And I've gotten brave. So, I mean, I might still jump, but I will take them on. I'll even take on a turtle now. It's taken me, 3 years or so, but I feel like I've grown.
Oh, I will not take on a turtle. I fear the turtles.
Oh my gosh, they're so unassuming. You're like, oh yeah, I need some hide, I need some meat. That's fine. And then they hit you with their bite, and you're like, okay, I was not prepared for that. I'm about to die.
And now I am going to perish. Great.
Yeah, they're deceptively strong.
They're very cute, though.
They are. The babies in this game are cute. Seeing them so teeny tiny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So, to get started, I have my first question for you. So, you sort of have two parts to this answer.
Okay.
But, so, what is the story behind your name as well as the name of the ARKitects?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's not entertaining. You guys will be the judge. So, Xbox gave me my name. My original handle was Azalea. Azalea was kind of this name I had. I'm an old guy. I'm an old fuddy-duddy people. So I was like, back in the day when, chat rooms were a big deal in the internet. But anyway, so like Azalea was like my first handle when I was 18 and my first email address. And I just literally kept it forever. But then I was playing Ark, and as you do when you're playing, it was PvP, unofficial, and as you do, you get attacked, and but this was a particularly fierce one. They stabbed us in the back, lied to our faces, and then just one by one took out everybody. We weren't even trying to be alpha, which is a thing unofficial. We weren't trying to be alpha at all. We were just trying to play the game, but we were big on taming, so we had lots of animals, and we were just a threat because I guess we had a lot of resources. Anyway, so it was definitely one of those vengeful woman moments. And so I had found a way, like one of those rat holes to like hide and build. But every time I logged into the server, they were like, Azalea, I see you. Where are you? And I was like, expletive. So I went and I changed my name on Xbox. I didn't realize at the time that I could just get another email address and do it that way. But anyway, so I changed my name, but I had no idea what to do. So it was just random. And FirePumpkin came up. I'm like, all right, that's not half bad. And I didn't think it was going to be a permanent thing. But that's how I got my name.
And
Xbox.
here you are.
Yeah, now I'm stuck with it. I'm stuck.
Now that's your name for the rest of your life.
It is now. Yeah, it's not so bad. I think my children call me FirePumpkin now, or Fire. No, they don't, but it's okay. It's grown on me, particularly the fire part. I think fire is kind of cool. It's a lot for a nickname. It's a lot edgier than I guess I think I would have come up for myself.
Oh, yeah. My poor husband has probably the most embarrassing PlayStation name that he possibly could have.
What is it with... Now, did he come up with it himself? Because guys like to name each other. Okay.
Yes, when he was 12 or something, really young kid. I remember the first time we played together, he logged on. I was like, that can't be you. He's it's like Dark Angel, but with all the A's or 4s.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, that's cryptic. So cringy. That's so cringy. But he's stuck with it for the rest of his life now.
Oh, because now he's known by it.
Yeah, and I will never stop bullying him for it.
Oh, my goodness. My husband is Irish, and the Irish are funny.
My husband's Irish too.
Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh, so we know exactly what we're talking about. Okay. Oh, so ARKitects. Okay, ARKitects. So first off, ARKitects is like Arkaholics. I'm trying to think of their names, but there are a lot of names, a lot of clever, just when you play tribe names, right? People are clever, they're funny. So there's lots of clever names, tribe names that come from the game name itself. And of course, ARKitects was definitely before me. I did not come up with that. In fact, there was a builder. He wasn't part of our group, but he didn't have the time, but he was a friend of mine, and when it came time to come up with a name, I tried. I can be a creative person, but I just could not come up with a better name than ARKitects for building in Ark. So I said, listen, I hope it's okay, but I've got to mooch this name because it's the only one I think that works. But anyway, that's it. I did. I said, I hope it's okay. Now, his name was The Architect, and we have been contacted, or I don't know if contacted is the right word. We have been, shamed. You can't be the original architect. I'm the original architect. But it's one of those names where I don't really think you can kind of own it. It's just so many. It's just one of those natural names you kind of come up with for tribes. Not to say that I'm trying to take away from anybody. You could be an architect as well. In fact, we do take on new builders. You can do what we're doing if you wanted to participate in it. So but it's it wasn't a name I invented, but I thought it was the most fitting name. So yeah.
That is pretty. I like that name. Oh my goodness, I've already died. Just so.
Did you? Oh, I came over to try to. Oh yes. Did you try to the Stilo?
No.
I will avenge you.
I need to find my corpse. I'm not sure where my corpse is.
So what I do in this phase is I'll take the engram and I'll put the engram in my hotbar. Here, take 2 spears. And so as I'm resourcing, I'll craft if I need it.
Okay.
And I try to keep a couple on me. Okay. Depending on the weight. You got to make sure you're upping your weight.
Right. Because I'm kind of weak. I can take care of this dodo, though. I can do that.
Yes.
Very easy.
All small animals here. It's I found your hut, I think. So I'm sure your campfire must be around here.
Well, I didn't make a hut, so...
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, though, because I also saw that, but I don't know where that came from.
Tribe of Zed. Wads. All right, so let's tribe up. Have you made a tribe yet? Do you want me to make a tribe?
You should make a tribe. I've not made a tribe.
Okay.
Did Ash come on here and fiddle around with stuff? Is that what's happened?
Possibly.
Because I didn't do that.
Did he give you a used server for your interview?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tussle with him. How dare he?
Who is Zed? Who is Zed?
Who is Zed? I'm just going to message him. Who is Zed?
I'm going to recruit you to the uncool. What do you think?
Yes. I would love to join the uncool. I am very uncool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we sit at the front of the bus. Yes, the front of the class.
Sit at the front of the bus, front of the class. I don't sit at the front of the class because I'm a good student, of course. I sit there because I can't see.
Right. Okay. Yep. And then, of course, we eat alone at our own table because we're so uncool. Actually, no, we don't get a table. We eat in the corner of the cafeteria on the floor by the trash cans.
Or if you're me in the band room.
Oh my gosh, you were a band kid?
I was a band
That's awesome.
kid.
I was a band kid up until high school when the work was too hard and I dropped out because I'm a loser like that. But I was an art drama kid. That's what I was.
Oh my goodness. I actually wound up leaving athletics to join band. So I was a swimmer, and then I was a flute player in middle school, and then once high school came, it was like, well, it's going to be really annoying for you to try and, play flute and I was in an accelerated program for my studies, and being in band class would ruin that whole thing.
Oh, nice.
So they were like, screw you, you can't do that. But they were like, but if we hand you a flag, then you can be in marching band.
Oh,
so that's
you were
what
a marching band. Wait, were you like batons and flags?
Yep.
Or just
batons, flags, rifles, saber.
Did you end up going to like a Macy's Day parade or anything like that?
I did the Mardi Gras parade. I did I did 2 Mardi Gras parades, which was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
They did make the mistake of taking a bunch of like 15-year-olds down Bourbon Street, which was not advisable.
That's rough.
My poor dad was like, "What's going on?" as a content creator, you obviously have to create content regularly, steadily, and a lot of people that I've spoken to have said sometimes it gets a little hard to, have inspiration and keep motivated. So where do you get your inspiration from?
Oh, okay. All right. So little bit of a disclosure. Being a mom, although my oldest, your campfire is right this way by there.
Yeah.
Although being my oldest being autistic and special needs and having his own, being a parent has just been very different, and it did have its own challenges. We did get to a part where it's like I felt like things were under control, and I had like free time every day, and so I was like, I had the calendar out, and I was like, I'm gonna do this content, then I'm gonna do this content. I was like gonna make a real effort of regular content, and then got pregnant with my second kid, and when you double your kids, I don't know, it's just I'm happy, but at the same time there's like no sleep, no time, and my content comes out in like drips, and even more so now that focusing on ARKitects as a cluster, there's so much more to do that has nothing to do with content. So I would say right now I'm not getting out regular content, although I am doing something like almost every day that has to do with Ark. But as far as coming up with interesting ideas, I found an otter, but I don't want to kill you, buddy. You're just too cute. I'll just leave you, buddy.
That is not a good hide source.
No, not a good hide source, and just too cute.
Yeah.
I am lucky that first and foremost, the content that I would do is collaborative in nature. Now, I can build on my own, and I have some houses on my channel that I built from scratch, so I'm not just decor, but I do have the opportunity of starting with not just a blank page, but a blank build. So it's like I'm being handed with an option for creativity or inspiration. So where someone may have drawn a blank looking at empty walls inside of this particular build, I start to, that's inspiring for me. Oh, look what they did here. Or that's really cool. Like walking into one of Aaron's tree houses. And then I just try to think about it as if it was a real house with real interior design. What is its use? If I have a big space, can I break it up and make zones? That kind of thing. But then for my own inspiration, I actually like to go look through, you can get like blueprints online. Or just I'll look up interesting different architectural it's not the word theme, but there's like names and styles. Like my favorite is craftsman. I love craftsman houses. Some people love modern design. So I just do some Google searching, and you take a look and see, and usually you can find, well, at least I'll find something that's inspirational. But then on top of that, I like people. And I seem to always want to find a way to bring people together to do something collaborative, and that's one of the things that ARKitects does. So that's a bunch of creative people all coming together, and we come up with a creative story or an idea, and then we collaborate to try to figure out how to make it inside of Ark. So, that's its own way. I don't know if that's a good answer or not, but I guess working with other people.
That is a great answer. I love that. What is sort of your favorite part of being able to work with all these people with the ARKitects?
Laughing with other people, and the fact that they are not toddlers. I mean, maybe some of them are. No, that's just a dig because it sounded like a joke could have fit in there, but I'm not as funny as my husband, so I probably didn't pull that off. But I would say, ARKitects actually officially started because of the pandemic, right? I had the idea since, I was thinking, people are going to be stuck in their houses now. And there's going to be a lot more gaming, which as a gamer, you're like, woohoo, I don't have to go into work. You're like, my Xbox is going to overheat. There's a certain aspect where you do get excited, but, games can get a little bit monotonous at times. But I had the idea, well, what if we did because it was nearing the fall, what if we did like a fright park? Since the fright parks were probably going to be closed this fall and you can't actually go do a scary walk, or maybe trick-or-treating won't happen. I was like, what if we did something interesting for the Ark gaming community and made a public event where we tried to recreate a Fright Fest or like I don't know what they call it in Universal Studios, but you know what I mean, like theme parks. They'll throw up a holiday type of event to pull people into the park, have special hours or whatever. And I thought, why don't we do that in ARK? That would be a fun thing to do and unique. I don't know of people doing that. Certainly not associated with a cluster, just kind of open public thing for people to do. And certainly, I don't know if anyone's doing it with other content creators, people they might, want to see their work up close. So that's kind of how it started. That's where the idea came from. So when the pandemic just kept going on and on, I really enjoyed working with people because it was the social. It was the social part of my life besides just being at home with the family.
Oh,
and
yeah.
also, like I said, talking with people who aren't in preschool. Having a conversation that's more about Baby Shark. I mean, it's not about Baby Shark. Like, it could move on.
So you mentioned, you starting creating content after Ronan was born. So for anyone who is thinking about, starting to create their own content and maybe a little bit nervous, what advice would you give them?
Oh, well, I think this is actually good advice. So I'm glad you asked that question. First and foremost, it's really easy, especially if you are taking it seriously, and it's or if you, whether finances are a part of it or not, whatever your motivations are. And you really, you want it to succeed and you want it to work. It can be really easy to get inside your own head and, of course, be your own worst enemy. And unfortunately, that is something we're going to do, especially if we love what we do and we want to progress in our craft. We will always be our worst enemy in a sense. We'll be very harsh about what we do and be very critical. So it's something you're going to have to keep on top of. It's something you're going to have to work on to not beat yourself up. But in the beginning, it's incredibly easy to get sucked into comparing and trying to find what is your niche, what makes you different, what makes you stand apart. And you can really focus on all the little things. I don't have the right setup equipment. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do a thumbnail. So the first part of my advice is, one, take a deep breath. Because you have to remember, everybody starts at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Nobody starts off knowing how to do everything. And if they are, we'll find their golden child. Good luck. That's great, but that's not the norm. So pretty much everybody that you admire has had to learn and would have had to go through stumbling blocks and would have struggled to find their niche and what made them special and what type of content both was something they were passionate about and people like to watch. And as far as all the money and the equipment and stuff, if you don't have it, don't stress about that either. Because the reality is, while that stuff does help, knowing the algorithms, how to do a thumbnail, all of that stuff does help. It really does. And so if you want to learn about that, learn about it, ask other creators about it. But don't stress if you don't know how to do it from the beginning. Really, the only thing that matters is doing something that you love. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to grow and pick up numbers, you could try to do things and focus on what do other people love. Some people do that and it works, and that is a valid strategy for content creating. What is the market looking for? But then if you're in this as well as to be an artist, because that can also be a trap, because then even if you get the following, you've gotten that following by catering to what they want, which kind of puts you in a cage, a creative cage. Mm-hmm. And I have seen other creators where when they've tried to step out of that cage, take a new direction, they've lost followers or get a lot of negative feedback, and it emotionally wears on them, and it they suffer with that criticism and the struggle where I wanted to do something that was fun, but it's hurt my business. So there is, that is a path. You can go that route, but if you really want to make content and the major motivation is because it's what you like to do and it's what you're interested in, then just focus on that. And you can learn what are the tips and the tricks to kind of increase your foot traffic, or how to make, like I said, thumbnails 3 times now, but how to make better thumbnails or how to understand the algorithms. Yes, and you can learn on that as you progress. But as far as just do I take this dive into becoming a content creator and where the heck do I start? All you need to do is just make something that you love. Because I promise you, this is a big world, and the internet has connected us all. Your people are out there. People who will love what you do are out there. And yes, maybe your idea is not finessed, but the more you stick to it, the more you will finesse that idea and maybe appeal to maybe a broader audience. But those are all decisions that you can make. As far as just getting yourself through, taking that first step, jumping off and getting started, the only thing I feel you really need to focus on is doing something that you love and that makes you happy, because that's the best content. People actually, I don't think I'm the most talented person. I'm certainly not the best at making content. I don't have the time to edit, so if I do, it's shoddy. It's nothing like the work of Aaron. I'm not as smart in the game with the building like Captain Fat Dog or other creators like Vlad, or there's so many amazing builders out there with technical skills. There's also really amazing creators that do the same thing that I do now with designing in the game. So I don't really think I'm unique or special in any way. And honestly, when I do something like a live stream, I don't even think people are going to show up. And if they show up, they're not really going to watch. But yet I do find people. And you know why? It's because of you. You're putting a piece of yourself out there in what you do, your voice or your face, if you choose to do that, but just the content, what your talent and how you view your content. Like in my case, how I view interior design in this game and how I would decorate something. And people are going to respond to you, and they're going to like you, and they're going to like your talent. And that's really what you want them to be watching your content for, in my opinion anyway. And that's the solid base. Those are the people who are going to uplift you when you're down. They're the people who are going to show up to all of your live streams. They'll check out all your videos. I've had people, I'm so blessed by it, but I've had people just show up and try to make every live stream and say things like, oh my gosh, I was in the middle of something and then I saw that you're doing a live stream, because I have a very random, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, my husband's got the kids. I think I can do a live stream, and in 30 minutes I go live. So it's not like I have a regular schedule. But I've had people say that they dropped what they were doing just to come over and say hi and watch for 10 minutes. And that means a lot to me, because I really don't, I don't think I'm the greatest really at anything, and that just feels like a real emotional, supportive, person to have on your side, who's willing to come in and support you like that. So, in my opinion, focus on what you want to do, and it's something that you love, and the rest, the technical skills, the even your finessing of what you do, all of that will come in time. The longer you stick into the game and try to learn and progress, but that's all you need to get started. That's a very, very long answer, but hopefully it's inspired some of you out there who might actually have listened to that. Just to not be afraid. You got to get up and put out more content. You got to put yourself out there again. You got to come up with something new and try to continue to do stuff. And so, if you constantly have the words, well, oh gosh, I don't know what the actual... there's a saying, and so I don't know it, so I'm going to butcher it. But it's basically like, you can have all the compliments in the world, right? Or just if you think in life and your job, you do all these great things every day, you slay it every day, but it's the status quo. You're getting your stuff done and it's expected, but then you make one mistake and everybody's talking about the mistake. Even in your mind, you could get lots of compliments on something you did. You put something out there and everybody's singing your praises, and then you have one critic. What goes through your mind day in and day out until you let it go? It's the negativity, the one critic. And it's okay to have critics. It's okay to fail. It's okay to not be successful at everything you do, or have some people not like what you do. That's actually normal. In fact, and if you're trying to create something, making mistakes is part of creating and getting to that better idea. So that's all good. That's something that we should accept.
Oh, it's being people. It's being a person.
Yes, exactly. But still, if the negative comment has gotten in your head and you don't have the ability to shake it, well then just remove it and just surround yourself with the positive stuff so that you can get back out there. Until you're strong enough that you've got thick skin and it doesn't matter. People can say whatever.
It is amazing to me how you can be just the best. You could be the best content creator in the world. You could be so proud of yourself, but then it is that one mistake that just gets you.
Yes, and that's everybody. That's everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We're all like that. Talking about the imposter syndrome when we started, you know, any new job, I'm like, until you know the job, like you go to the interview and you're nervous, but you think you can do it. You get the job, and then you're on the first day in the job and you're learning all this new stuff, and you're like, I'm never going to remember this stuff. I'm going to be crap at this job. I go through it every single time. My husband's gone through it every time he changed his job, and I'm always telling him, look, where you've exceeded and excelled. My husband's super smart. I'm jealous of his brain. He has never failed, in my opinion, at any job, any challenge that's been put in front of him. And so when he goes through those insecure moments, I just like, look back at your history. Once you've had time to learn something, do you ever fail? No. What happens? You actually are better than everyone else. You actually push the bar a little bit higher. He's really good with sales. So you always impress people. So just give yourself the time. You're going to get there. You'll know. You'll feel comfortable. And it'll be the same thing with this, you know? It's a mountain, and you've got to just walk up one step at a time. Or if it's a house, you build it one piece at a time. Whatever analogy works. Don't let your insecurities or your failures or the naysayers keep you from actually continuing. Just do it. If you love it, just continue to do it, because you'll get better.
Oh my goodness. Was Ark your first video game, or did you, because I know you mentioned your family was like,
yeah, okay,
rot your brain.
So growing up, we weren't allowed consoles, right? My mom thought we should be out playing, and that video games rot your brain. But my dad did get us a PC, right? And so games that I played were like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Caveman, Ugg Olympics, which is a fantastic classic game. And of course, when we go to friends' house or cousins' houses, and they had like, I played Sonic the Hedgehog and things like that.
The classics.
Genesis. Classic games, yeah. But it wasn't anything that we had. So yeah, when I had the ability to game more towards an adult or in college, I was definitely more on the PC side. So I was big on playing. I played Minecraft. I played Sims. Sims was probably my addictive game. I was addicted to Sims. In college, I would skip whole days of classes just to play Sims.
Oh yeah, it's such a cozy game, but it's such a time sink.
Yes, it is. It is. But anyway, so I was very familiar with the gaming itch. You know, I was technically a gamer, just more PC. And now I've come full circle because I've just recently, I think last year, moved to playing Ark on a PC. And now I'm experiencing the whole world of mods and what that means for what I did, which was doing decor, but then also what it does now for the ARKitects events, which are trying to recreate, you know, really interesting, amazing places, kind of coming at a situation like an event like a Disney World event where you want to try to give as many different sensory experiences for the interaction as you can. And of course, the world of mods has just opened up a whole bunch of possibilities to what we're doing, which is kind of exciting as a builder.
Oh yeah, I imagine that is super cool to be able to see both sides of it, because I imagine I am not a console gamer. I never have been. My dad was a computer engineer, and so that I've always had a computer.
Cool. Yes.
But, you know, my husband's a console gamer, and so seeing the two sides of gaming is very interesting. And I imagine playing the same game but on two different platforms. It has to be pretty interesting.
Yes, and I think it's made me a little bit more sensitive as well. Well, sensitive is one way to put it when it comes to realizing limitations on Xbox. Oh, no. Oh, you ran into a Spino. Yeah,
I got murked.
That's a bad one. Did that one sneak up on you?
Yeah, and I couldn't get away. I got stuck on a rock.
Because you were talking very calmly for being next to a Spino, so.
Yeah, it got me. Oh, my goodness.
Well, besides being sensitive to knowing what the limitations are, like decorating in with mods is a lot more fun and exciting, and decorating in Xbox is a lot more challenging. It doesn't. I don't think mods detract or take away. You still have to have skills in interior design. You still have to be a creative person to make decor look good. You know, that doesn't take away from the skill set, but it's a different different tools that you're working with. So you got to use different parts of your abilities. But then it also makes me appreciative for what people can manage to do without mods as well, and how talented some of these people on console, these builders are. you know?
Oh, yeah.
They do some amazing, amazing things.
I feel that way about Minecraft a lot of the time. Similar sort of sandbox style, but when it comes to building and doing interesting things with it, I just interviewed a creator who does a lot of like absolutely insane things in Minecraft, but without mods. Like,
yes,
they made a circle in Minecraft, but without mods.
I just saw that. That's fairly, well, maybe not fairly recent, but I remember seeing that. Go, oh yeah, the circle. That was so cool.
And I have no idea how that happens, but it's just so cool to see what people can do with a game that, I mean, granted, I haven't played a lot of Ark, but I mean, the game has its limitations. Quite frankly, this game does not look very good a lot of the time. And
that was like when Captain Fat Dog, we were working on our Star Wars event, and there had been in his Discord, he gets a lot of people who are interested in building and building mechanics, right? And how basically breaking building mechanics can make you do things you're not supposed to do, or make the pieces do things that they don't normally have the function to do, right? And so he's got a lot of talented people that will try mess around and come up with something, and then they'll share and they'll talk about it and collaborate on it. But anyway, so I don't know exactly who discovered the mechanism. I think it was another builder. I can't remember. I don't know their name. But then Captain Fat Dog was able to take that idea and then come up with a rig that allowed us to create a dome. And we were building R2-D2. And so he showed me how to do the rig. And then I put in all the grunt work, which I didn't mind. That was exciting. And then we were able to build R2-D2, and then I took that information and then I built like a sphere out of it to build the not the Death Star, but it was like one of these major rays or beams or something. Anyway, it was just fascinating. I was it was electrifying working on that project, just being able to see what could be done. That's you first time seeing it in a game. I can basically, what I'm saying is I totally get how excited people must have been seeing that being built in the circle.
I feel that way about a lot of games, and it took me a long time. I don't know if you've experienced this as a woman. I felt this intense pressure to be good at games. Like if I was going to play games, I felt like I had to be good at them because, well, I'm a girl, yes. And so, girls don't typically play games. So now because I'm playing games, I have to be good at it. Because if I'm not good at it, then people won't accept me and they won't, think that I belong here.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to be just like, listen, I am the comedic relief. I am bad at this game, and that's okay. And it doesn't matter that I'm bad at it. I'm still just as much of a quote-unquote gamer as, someone who is a really sweaty PvPer or a really good builder or whatever, because I'm having fun.
Let's be honest. You could have all the best, amazing PvP skills, content creator teachers game too, who I got to know from doing Monarchy. I was lucky enough to be asked to do that for a season, and so that's a definite set of skill sets. It's set of skills that are very important in this game and very helpful, especially if you're playing, on a live PvP version. So as a person feeling like you're bad at the game, that could be a very intimidating part of it. But being part of a tribe, which is one of the cool aspects of this game, is you also need the people who are willing to feed the animals. You need the people who are willing to go and farm metal nonstop or stay up with the babies for their incredibly ridiculously long gestation periods and growth periods in the official version of this game. And so a tribe really is about getting all different skill sets. And so you could be technically bad at the game, but if you're there, showing up, there's work to be done. And you can have a lot of value. I remember being a base bitch for so long in the official version. I was okay with it. I enjoyed going around and doing the grinding and organizing the crap. It took, I think it took at least a year before I ever went into a cave to get an artifact. Because that just wasn't something I cared about. I just organized the stuff that they brought home. And you know what? I wasn't the only one. I was always meeting people that's what they did. In fact, when I moved over to building, that opened up I started meeting lots of people in the PvE world, which, I was previously only in PvP. And in the PvE world, people who are really intimidated by that part of the game. And so I was able to kind of encourage them to just get out and try it. Don't go with things that you're not afraid to lose, and go out and try it. Don't think you can't do it. Yeah, it's gonna be scary. Yeah, you're gonna scream, but that's like, enjoy that part of it. Go out and try that part of the game. You don't have to just be in one part. Like, you can fail at other parts of this game. It's okay. The excitement is you're gonna find it's thrilling.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I had people who were watching me in that Sin of Monarchy because I came in it with no PvP skills. And I had people saying, oh man, I love watching what you do because I went out for the first time and I tamed a Giga because I saw you do it. Or I went and I've been doing cave runs now. I'm not afraid. I thought that was so cool.
It is very cool. And it's also, I think, part of the appeal of multiplayer is having, someone like you who's just like, man, don't be a wuss. Just go do it. Just go do it.
It's okay
it doesn't
if you
matter.
die. Scream. It's okay.
Yeah, like, it's just a game. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Don't let your fear of not being good at something keep you from trying it. Just be brave and enjoy it, and realize and be prepared that you're going to fail, and then really, what's there to lose?
Speaking of, turn around.
Uh-oh, what are you going to do? Is it a Spino? No. Oh, you made it mad.
It's mad at me.
Okay, you're going to run to the base. It's going to attack the base, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh!
I'm getting
let's
bonked.
We're all going to die because I just have one. Let's try to get it. What level
My
is
bones
it?
are broken. It's a level 9.
Oh, it's a 9.
I was like, 9 is not that big of a number.
Oh, no. These things are terrible. We'd have to probably trap it to take it out. But she's fine now.
She's happy because she murdered me.
She's happy she murdered you. Yep, she got her sweet revenge.
I have one final question for you. So,
Okay.
with Ark 2 coming out soon, what are your thoughts regarding this new release, and what features are you hoping to see added to the game?
Okay, so I'm not as fully informed on it as I probably should be. And honestly, I think that's just my mom brain. From balancing the kids to balancing this current ARKitects project and the launch that we're working on, I feel like I don't have enough brain capacity to go crazy into learning about other things. So a lot of the information I've actually garnished from speaking with other people who are totally into it. So I can talk a little bit on it, but I don't know if I've got all the information on the new features. So the thing is that I think I'm looking forward to as a builder is the fact that this blueprint thing. And I think it may, I've been wondering how it's going to impact the builder content creator. On the one hand, it's, is it going to make us obsolete because people are, I don't know, and maybe not, because it might just shift how we do things. So right now, content creators do how-tos. So they come up with a build design, and then they come up with a video to show you how you build it, and then they get the views because every time you go to build it, you go back and rewatch the video. So it has good residual views for a content creator. If you build something that somebody likes, as they play the Ark, more often than not, they're going to come back and rewatch it. As opposed to content that, like someone who might be covering Ark news, where that news is only relevant right when it comes out. So like you chase the numbers, what's relevant and what's happening currently, what's everybody looking for. You create that content, you throw it out there, and you get a lot of hits and views up front. But then pretty much once the news is done, it's done, and it's more like an archival reason someone might look it up, but the views probably fall off a cliff, to be honest. But when you do an how-to video, if somebody likes what you've done, more often than not, they're going to keep coming back and watching it. Or someone who's newly discovered it is going to go back through your old videos and watch some things that you may have done like a year ago. So now that there's this blueprint feature, I'm wondering if that's going to reduce our views, because someone will just recreate it once and then put it on a blueprint, and then they'll probably never need to come back and watch your video. But I don't know how that blueprint works. It may not carry across with your characters. I don't know. But then on the flip side of that, it could also be an opportunity to support creators, especially those who have patrons or if they have members. They could do special builds, and if it's plausible to be able to take a blueprint and pass it on to another player. Again, I don't know if that's plausible, but if you could do that, that could be a source of support, of income support that they could give to people who support them, through Patreon or something. So it could be another way for someone to help continue making content. So that's the one thing I'm worried about. Are the building mechanics actually going to be better? Are they going to be the same? Are they going to be at least as good, or are they going to go backwards a little bit and be oversimplified? And I won't have the same kind of creativity or way that I'm building. It's not going to be an improvement. It's going to go backwards. So I think those are probably the two main things. I think I'm going to love the game. The third person thing is going to be weird for me, but I'll get over that. I'm very excited about the primitive nature of it. I don't hate metal in tech, but I do feel like it's not as cool looking, and it has its merits, I think, on the game, the storyline of the game, but also just being a beach bob around dinosaurs was super cool. You could have stopped it around metal or even stone. I really loved Prim Plus. I really, really loved Prim Plus. So the fact that I think this is going to be more primitive, that's exciting for me from a gameplay point of view, but from a builder point of view, I'm a bit anxious. I'm a bit nervous.
Well, we'll have to see what they wind up doing with the with all the new building mechanics and the blueprints. I'm excited to see. So, as your final remark,
yes.
so that I can release you after spending 3 hours of your day. This has been such a pleasure for me. I've really enjoyed talking with you.
Me too, Kayla. Thank you.
So tell the people, where can they find you? Where should they go watch your stuff?
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to throw out a bunch of links here. So first and foremost, my own stuff on YouTube, FirePumpkin. You just got to search FirePumpkin, and I'm lucky enough that Aaron Longstaff also lets me decor some of his stuff. So you might see on his showcases at the end of some of his how-to videos the interior design. But my stuff is under FirePumpkin. The ARKitects themselves, we do a lot through our Discord. So it is discord.gg/ARKitects official, and that's ARK. Of course, it's going to be ARK, so it's ARKitects spelled ARK. And then we do have a website that we're currently working on, ARKitects.com. But yeah, that's it. So come join our Discord, come hang out. We have 2 clusters. We have Xbox and Steam. We're currently working on our Season 2 launch event, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. We run 6-month-long seasons with a different build theme. Currently, we're in Vikings, and I will give you an exclusive. Our next season has to do with movie magic, so we're going to be taking on, or currently building right now, our take on some really interesting epic movies: Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. We do have Star Wars in there again because we loved it so much, and Jurassic Park. So we decided we're going to just lean into that dinosaur thing a bit. And so come and join us. Come be a part of our community. We're always looking for admins. We'll be looking for builders again as well soon. Come the launch of our Season 2, which will be in January. And we're definitely looking for players. So come join us.
Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I am so excited to see what Season 2 has to bring and to see all the amazing things you guys create. So, FirePumpkin, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching me die many times to many dinosaurs.
Thanks for having me, Kayla, and listen to all my crazy mom stories. I really appreciate it. It was such an honor to be part of the Uncool tribe.
The Uncool.
Yeah.
The Uncool was pretty cool, not going to lie.
I enjoyed hanging with you today. Thank you so much for having me, Kayla.
Thank you.